everything is created by you. Everything you see, everything around you is a reflection of what you're feeling internally. It's something that is so important to understand, and I try to do daily, where I'm like, what happened today? What did I do? What did I do wrong? Like, what is the capacity of everything around me? What is the reflection that I'm seeing? Because if the reflection that I'm seeing isn't a positive one, I have to be like, what did I do? I call it radical responsibility. You have a responsibility that if you don't like something in your life that you see, to look at yourself and be like, what am I doing? And it even comes in extreme forms, and that is a tough pill to swallow, because when you look around and you say, I don't like something in my life, or I really don't appreciate that, or this keeps happening to me, these things keep happening to me. Well, life happens. Like, life is built on a series of events. And now, obviously, when you're a child and you're innocent and things are happening to you, you don't understand that capacity. But the thing is at some point you do, and that's the switch. When you start to realize that, all of this stuff happened to me, but now you're able to see that, oh, it happened to you. You've changed your mindset. You realize that those things have happened to you, but you get to choose now how you proceed forward. Every moment is a new moment. So if you're taking the time and you're going through this and you're like, you're living in the past, you're living as if when those traumas happened, when those things happened to you, now you have the capacity to be like, this happened to me. If you haven't dealt with it, obviously go through the process, deal with it, feel it, allow your body to process it, but then remove it. Send love back to yourself. Send love to the situation. Send love to your perpetrators. Send love to all of that stuff, because they don't get to define your future. Your past does not define your future. In fact, as you change your future, you change your past. Now, that's a whole other thing, but you have to understand that right in this moment, you get to decide where you are on the cycle, where you are on your path. And so if I can take radical responsibility over my actions and say, I don't like this, I don't like the life I'm living, I have the responsibility to myself to look at the things that I'm doing on a daily basis that I can change. Okay, I don't like that I'm overweight. I'm going to take those actions, and in those moments where I feel a craving, a craving for junk food, for salt, for sugar, for anything, and I'm going to say, does my body need this? No. Okay. It might be attached to neurodivergent. Obviously, I have neurodivergence, and if you have something, you're going to get dopamine from those actions. And so I understand the extra challenges that come with all of that stuff. But it's your responsibility to design a life that limits those factors. So if you know that you get cravings and you're going to have a craving for this or that or the other thing, you need to take the time to be like, okay, what's my strategy when I have this craving? Do I carry around meat sticks? Do I carry around cheese? Do I carry around a protein shake? What is it that I'm going to fuel myself with? Is it an apple? If I have this instead of this, you're already making progress. Those are the little wins every single day. Those are the little things, because it's not, again, you're the sum of all of your actions and all of your moments. Your life is the sum of your decisions in all of the moments that you have. And so once you start taking responsibility for the little moments, for recognizing that, yes, things have happened to you in the past, but now it's my responsibility to heal that and then move forward in a positive way and not let that hold on to me. Then you start putting yourself in personal power. Then you start being able to move forward in a positive direction. So that's what I'm talking about. And that's for everything in your life. Yes, the financial markets are against us. Yeah, I'm a millennial. I built a business and then things happened and it went, and that stuff was outside of my control. But now it is my responsibility to be like, oh my God, this stuff happened. I worked, 9 years of my life and I put all my money back into the business. I have nothing to show for it. And those things happen. But like life happens. Your grandparents weren't expecting to be in World War II, but shit happened and they ended up in World War II. Like everything, like things are going to happen, and arguably you could say, oh, they're negative, but if you define them as neutral instead of negative and just be like, this has happened and this is just how I have to deal with it going forward, you're going to minimize and cut off that negative energy, and then you're going to spin it in a positive. Well, actually, this allows me to gain this skill. This allows me to do this. This allows me to do this. And stop putting everything outside of you on yourself. So when you're looking at all these negative things happening, years ago we didn't have social media. Years ago we didn't have these things to force us into these feelings. And so if you take that and you stop putting the world on yourself and you start focusing on yourself, and you put your own oxygen mask on first, you allow yourself to improve your life. And once you start improving your life, you become an inspiration for others around you. You become, you start having a net positive impact on your community, on the people, on your life. And people start to ask questions, and people start to say, wow, how can I do that? And now you're going to lose people too, because you're going to also be a reflection to them and show them what they're not doing for themselves. So you have to be prepared for that. But this is personal growth. This is powerful spiritual growth. This is how we take radical responsibility for our lives and we put in the positives. And so as you do this, there's going to be things like boundaries and other things that you have to set up with people. And you have to understand that everybody has their own responsibility to themselves. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions where there's people that have mental handicaps, people that are physically disabled. There's many things where people have to have a level of help, but at the same time, if they're mentally acute and able to do things, they have a responsibility to themselves too. Look at people like Stephen Hawking. Instead of allowing those things to affect him, he went on and wrote books and did all this wonderful stuff. We each have a responsibility to ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean we can't help. That doesn't mean we can't cooperate. That doesn't mean we can't be a part of other people's lives and other people's experiences in a positive way. But if you have somebody that is just constantly taking advantage of the system and taking advantage of the things and never helping themselves, then it's not your responsibility to help them. Take your time, improve your life, and when you improve your life, you're going to see reflections outside. You're going to see synchronicities. You're going to see opportunities. You're going to start being able to do more of the things you want to do. It's a snowball, and as they're snowballing down, the snowball's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's like you can either choose to snowball in the negative or you can snowball in the positive. And I prefer the positive, and I'm sure you do too. But all of those little things, and now again, I can't talk about everything in one video. But if you need help, go to my website, unchainedsouls.com. There's resources on there. I have a little Facebook group, Orenda House. It's linked through the site, and you can go and we can help. Like we're not in this alone. This is a very personal process, but it's also there's communities out there for it, and mine is just one of them. There's so many great things where we can all improve our lives, and when we stop playing the games of the world and the old ways and the old systems, and you start to take responsibility for yourself, you're going to just populate your whole life with people that are so similar to you and people that want the best for you, and you're going to find what you're looking for. If you're looking in the wrong places, you're going to find that too. You're going to find people that aren't good, that don't have your best interests at heart, that want to keep you small. And so the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to end up in communities and better things that allow you to grow exponentially, because you're putting yourself in better things. If I go, to, I'm just trying to think, if I go somewhere negative, if I go, I'm not saying that bars are negative, but I go to the bar, you don't know who you're going to meet. But if I go to a class that I'm interested in, maybe like rock climbing, maybe you meet somebody there that you really enjoy. So it's like, where are you going? What environments are you putting yourselves in? And you're the sum of what you have around you, right? So it's like, if I am hanging out with losers that have no motivation, that's most likely what I'm going to become. And so those people you have to let them go. It's okay to let people go, because your life will fill up with positive as you increase yourself, and as you put yourself in better situations. And it's a whole thing. Like, there's the mindset, there's the healthy body, there's like, it's a whole thing. Okay. And so that's what we want to strive towards. That's what we want to work with. I love you guys. I hope this helps. Again, if you have questions, just leave questions. Give me a thumbs up. Do all that jazz. And yeah, love you guys so much. Good luck. I'm here for you.